That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, y'all showed so much positive feedback on that last 2021 breakout wide receiver video. So now let's do the same thing at the running back position. But guys, please go down to the comment section and let me know what video you would like to see next. And I also want to remind everyone, just like we do every single video, this is a Dynasty Fantasy Football channel. If you do not play or you are not interested in joining a Dynasty Fantasy Football or even a Keeper Fantasy Football League, please turn off this video. It is not for you. Please do not subscribe to the channel, as every video that I bring here is going to be specifically about Dynasty Fantasy Football. We have our main channel where we just talk about regular redraft. So go look up the Fantasy Flock Network on YouTube, not the Dynasty Flock. Yeah, here, anyway, let's get into it. Let's stop wasting time. And let's talk about our first breakout 2021 running back, which is going to be Cam Akers. Okay, so I know Cam Akers has been coming on very strong at the end of the 2020 football season. Y'all know this was a running back, if you've been following our main channel, that we really liked coming into the 2020 NFL draft. I mean, he had everything that you'd want to see coming out of Florida State. He had a ton of pedigree coming out of high school, where he was a 5-star recruit, one of the highest ranked players in the entire nation. Yes, the production was not necessarily there at Florida State, but we talk about this all the time, guys. I don't know how many times we have to discuss this. This is what I was arguing way back last offseason when I was trying to tell people how great of a running back Antonio Gibson would be. Here, with production at college, it matters so much for the wide receivers in their offenses, because wide receivers are really reliant on their talent to get open, to get targets, and to be able to produce at the college level. Obviously, there's some more stuff that goes into it. You are relying on some quarterback play, but really, the wide receiver talent is going to dictate so much of what they are able to do at the college level. And here, at the running back position, that is just not necessarily the case. I mean, at the running back position, you could be behind a very bad offensive line or be playing with a very bad quarterback where they can stack the boxes against you every single week. You could have tough competition. I mean, there are a million different variables at the running back position that affect your production, not necessarily at the wide receiver position. So here, we honestly did not really care about the lack of production at Florida State from a Cam Akers, because he did handle almost every single touch in that backfield. He showed us that he was capable of being a workhorse type running back, and he showed us that he could get targets out of the backfield, so we did not have to worry about his receiving game usage at the NFL level. And now he goes into the NFL Combine and he completely destroys it. I mean, he shows us an elite athletic profile in terms of his size adjusted athleticism. So everything that we want to see from Cam Akers from a prospect profile is there, to add on to the fact that he was the first player selected by the Los Angeles Rams in the 2020 NFL Draft. Now, yes, that does not guarantee him success, but what this all leads up to is it guarantees Cam Akers the opportunity to be the starting running back in Los Angeles. And right now, I would argue that he has shown us significantly more than Darrell Henderson, especially given the past few weeks, how Cam Akers has had so much efficiency with the touches that he has seen out of the backfield for Los Angeles. Darrell Henderson has looked decent at times so far this season, but he's really been hot and cold in terms of, is he going to get that touchdown? If not, you don't want anything to do with Darrell Henderson. So going into 2021, I think that we can confidently say that Cam Akers is going to be the lead running back in this committee. I think there's also a good chance that we have no Malcolm Brown on this team in 2021, and it's just going to be Cam Akers getting about 70% of the backfield touches, with Darrell Henderson only getting about 30, which that's going to bode very well for a running back like Cam Akers. The one thing that I will be intrigued in is if he can increase his target share in this offense, because that's one thing that I did not like to see in 2020 so far. Okay, now let's get to our next running back. This is going to be a Zack Moss. Okay, with Zack Moss, guys, I really did not like him coming into the NFL. I thought that he was overvalued by a lot of film grinders who were watching Zack Moss be able to break tackles in between the tackles and really be able to go out there and make defenders miss in the box. But here, I did not like the fact that he was so slow. I mean, he's one of the most unathletic running backs in the entire NFL, but I think that we can confidently say, based on what we saw his rookie season compared to Devin Singletary, that Zack Moss is the running back that's going to profile to be more of the goal line guy, that he's also the running back that can handle the majority of the touches, as Devin Singletary is severely undersized, especially if you compare him to a running back like a Zack Moss that is beefy. I mean, Zack Moss, in theory, could handle 20 touches a game. So while I don't necessarily think that he's the same type of talent of a Cam Akers, I think that in 2021, he should be the lead in the committee in Buffalo. And on top of that, if he's getting goal line usage, he has a decent ceiling. And if we see an injury to Devin Singletary, he could turn into a full-on workhorse. And what do I talk about all the time in Dynasty Fantasy Football? It's going and trying to prioritize the running backs that are still on their rookie contracts, as those are the running backs that have their jobs safely secured for the future, because really the teams have no incentive to move on from them. The guys that you want to be avoiding are the players like a Melvin Gordon, a Todd Gurley, a David Johnson, a Le'Veon Bell. Everybody knows this. You do not want the running backs on that second contract. You want those rookies. Here, that's what we have with Zack Moss. Okay, so now let's go to our next running back. Yet again, another rookie out of the 2020 draft class, J.K. Dobbins. Okay, with J.K. Dobbins, I know he has looked fantastic during stretches in 2020 so far. I mean, it looks like if they would just commit to him, if they would just give him the lead role in Baltimore, if he was going to be able to get 70% of this team's touches, I mean, he would be a dominant force in fantasy football. This is given the fact that the Baltimore Ravens offense has historically been very efficient running the ball, with Lamar Jackson really making the linebackers freeze as he hands it off, because if the linebacker crashes in on the running back every single time, we know that Lamar is the best rushing quarterback that we've probably ever seen at the NFL level. I know a lot of people want to say it's Michael Vick, but no. I mean, if you look at what Lamar Jackson can do in terms of making defenders miss in the open field and also avoiding big hits, I think it's Lamar. And I think that he provides so much in terms of taking that defensive attention away, where whoever the starting running back is in Baltimore, they are going to have a ton of efficiency. I mean, you see this with a running back like Gus Edwards, who would not be anything more than a backup running back on any other NFL franchise, actually look like a far above average option in Baltimore. So here with J.K. Dobbins, I think going into 2021, he is easily going to be the lead running back there. I think that we see them move on from either Mark Ingram or Gus Edwards. If you look at the contract situations, it should line up for J.K. Dobbins to be that lead running back, especially if you throw in the fact that they just selected him in the second round, trading Hayden Hurst away for that pick. It looks like J.K. Dobbins should be the running back one there, given the team investment. Okay, so now let's get to our next running back, the only running back that is not currently a rookie. This is going to be Chase Edmonds. Okay, with Chase Edmonds, I think that we can all confidently say that he is the most talented running back in Arizona. I mean, based on what Kenyon Drake has showed us so far this season, I mean, anybody who is significantly investing into Kenyon Drake in 2020 was just flat out wrong, as Chase Edmonds is the running back getting the targets out of the backfield. Chase Edmonds is the running back that's bringing efficiency with his touches. And now, if you look at Kenyon Drake, he is currently playing under the transition tag. He is not under contract for 2021 for this Arizona Cardinals offense. The only running back that they have is going to be a Chase Edmonds and a Eno Benjamin. That's why Eno Benjamin made our deep running back stash video this past week. But here, I'll say with Chase Edmonds, I think that he actually has a chance to be the starting running back for the Arizona Cardinals in 2021. And if you look at what Chase Edmonds has been able to do whenever he's had the chance to start in Arizona before, whether that's a David Johnson injury, whether that's a Kenyon Drake injury, I mean, he handles the majority of the touches there. He is not only maintaining his role as the pass-catching running back, but on top of that, he is gaining those carries between the tackles. So Chase Edmonds has the upside to be a top 12 running back in an offense very similar to Baltimore, is always going to have an efficient running game based on the fact that Kyler Murray freezes those linebackers. Okay, so now let's go to our last running back, someone that's going to cost you way more than anybody else on this list, but I think it's going to be worth it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Okay, so obviously with CEH, this is a running back that's been a major disappointment so far in 2020, but I think that we can blame some of that disappointment on the fact that Le'Veon Bell has been getting so much usage in this offense. Le'Veon Bell is seeing about 30% of this team's touches, and we know also with CEH this is someone that profiled to see more targets out of the backfield in 2020 than he has received so far. So going into 2021, I think that we look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire being the feature down running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, because we have to remember that this is a running back that got that first round draft capital attached to him. On top of that, with CEH, this is a running back that was only 21 years old at the time of the NFL draft. So I think we can safely say he should be able to progress as a talent as his career goes on. He's going to be playing in the best offense in the entire NFL. So if he's going to be seeing the majority of the touches out of that backfield, CEH is a player that has a ton of touchdown equity and someone that I want on our Dynasty rosters. All right, now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop that like, leave that comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, I hope I will see y'all with the video tomorrow.